What's today's date? Today is the 4th. All right, so we're here to do a rebuild on our backflow because it's dripping and the city says we need to get it inspected. So before we get it inspected and it fails, we're going to fix it. So hopefully we can do this without parts. In the field, if that ever happens, that would be a temporary thing, not a solution. But for us, because we're being cost effective and we're plumbers, then we're going to try to do it with no money, right? Because, right, it's our money. It's different when someone's paying us versus when we're actually doing it ourselves. So, a few things. This one is ours, and this one's ours. This one's not ours. This is obviously an older style. This is an Ames. This is what we had. It completely exploded. The problem with this, I can tell you, this is for Flight Right. The problem is in here, there is a plastic, the plastic diaphragm. It's not even really a diaphragm as much as it's just a cage that has a rubber poppet and a spring in it, and it's completely cracked. And the reason it's cracked is because we had really bad cold snaps the past 2 years, and it expands and contracts and expands and contracts. And then it's just in the sun all day, and then it heats it up. The water gets hot, it boils the plastic, it becomes brittle. Heat, cold, heat, cold, heat, cold. Do the math. You know what I mean? So it's aged out. So this 100% will fail. This will fail because it's leaking from the vent, and this is also leaking from the vent. Now, backflows are going to leak from the vent, but not consistently the way it is. Really, when it has back pressure in the system, when you have a quick open close valve or something like that, because water doesn't compress. So if you imagine a car running into a wall, car crumbles, right? If water runs into a wall, it bounces back. That's how you get hammer, and you have hammer arresters and things like that for that nature. But backflows also do that too, as the water pressure comes back in here, depending on how far the line is. If it doesn't have something lengthy enough to settle that turbulence, it can leak from the vent, because once water pressure comes back in here, it's supposed to leak out the vent. And this whole backflow preventer, I'll have to edit that. And what it does is it stops backflow from entering the city system. Now, why is that important? If you work at a chemical plant or something like that, and you have toxicities in your water, or heavy lead, or uranium water because you're at a power plant or something crazy, you don't want that entering the city water supply. So it's important. You're not really going to see these on houses as much, really, ever. You'll see that on the irrigation. You'll have that because technically that's non-potable because of the water delivery system with it being underground. But for a domestic house, not really. But for commercial use, you're supposed to have them. So, and we work on these a lot. This is a 3/4. This is a very common, that's why we switched to this very common 975 XL2 Wilkins Zern. It's probably the most A to B standard that you're going to see in our industry. This is what Lowe's uses, except they use a 2-inch. So the same process I'm doing today is the same process you're going to do on a 2-inch. It's just on a grander scale. Does that make sense? Okay. So currently what I have is I have it on from the meter, both of them. And the one we're working on currently, I have just the store side off, or our building side off. I have the other side on. The reason I have that is because I want to purge the system. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and turn the center backflow off. Now that means that the meter's still on, the store side's off, this side's dead in the middle, okay? So right here, these are our test ports or seal cocks, A or B, whatever you want to call them. And these basically are the different chambers within the backflow, okay? If you notice, this seal cock is behind this ball valve, okay? If I have the meter on and the ball valve off, this should have pressure consistently, right? Okay, so we have pressure, right? If I open these up, should I or should I not have pressure? I should not, because this is closed and this is the store side, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and open this and purge any water that's in it, okay? You see how I released the vent and it went ahead and it drops all the water? Okay, so anytime that you're doing any kind of repair or rebuild or shut down or replace or anything like that, you have to purge the air out of this. So hopefully it's just air, but we're gonna find out really fast if it's air causing it to leak out the vent. So the first thing you do is you're gonna make sure there's no air from the meter to the first shut off. So all we're doing now is, you know, when you turn the water off and you turn it back on and the faucets are popping, you're just getting the air out of the system. Okay. The problem with air in the system is, one, it's going to cause things to fail like this. Two, air compresses, water doesn't. Okay. So when you shut down a store and you're working on something on the main line and you turn the water off and drain down the system, that pipe is now has no water in it. Okay. What replaces that? Air. Exactly. And then you seal the system by fixing the leak, and then you turn the water on. Where does that air go? If it's watertight, it's probably airtight. So that means that you've just compressed all that air. So that's why before you turn backflows and water and stuff on, you always open up a valve, and that way you can purge the air out of the system from multiple points. And that way we don't slam 200 psi worth of air towards the fixture and possibly blow up supply lines, angle stops. Oh my God, water's everywhere type thing. Okay, so the first thing we did is we went ahead and we made sure from A to B there's no air. We purged it. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is, these are still on and I'm going to leave them on. Okay. And I'm just going to purge the system because it's easier to do that. And all I got to do is open this up. So I'm probably going to open it up about halfway, 20%, 30. And then I'm going to go ahead and go full. And then I'm going to close them in sequence. Okay. I like going 3, 2, and 4. And if you look up Zern's website, they're going to give you what they believe you should do. So now it was consistently dripping the whole time, right? Do you see it dripping at all now? No? Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and send it to the building, right? Yeah? What did I just say we need to do before we turn water back on? Okay, so should I just send it to the building, or should I call someone in the building and tell them to turn faucets on? Yeah, we should do that, right? Okay, cool. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video, and we're going to go ahead and do that. And we're going to also let everyone know not to mess with anything. All right, so now we're still not leaking, which is a good thing, right? So now what we're going to do is we're going to send it to the building. Don't ever just full send it, okay? Just crack it. And now we know that we have water that's shooting out. It's running out there. It's going to start filling up the sink and the lines and everything that was it. Now, luckily, we only cut it off right here. If no one was using the building wouldn't have been pressurized the whole time. So I really wouldn't have had a chance to get air in it because I shut it off while the water was still on. Nothing was open. So essentially, as long as nothing's leaking from this point all the way to the faucets or the toilets or the angle stops and everything that holds water would have retained water. But practice how you play. Okay. It's just always good. That extra step did nothing. It just saved me from having bigger problems on my Friday that are unnecessary that we caused. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and full send it. It's full send. Okay, so now what we're going to do is one of you guys are going to go in there, and I need you to faucet on, faucet off, faucet on, faucet off like 20, 30 times. All right. At this point, I figure it's enough time for him to walk up there and flick it on and off. And all he's doing is, once again, it's a quick close valve. So he's basically just creating water hammer, and he's trying to create that back pressure. Once again, car hits a wall, it crumbles, water hits a wall, it bounces back. So if it were to fail and have constant back pressure, that's what would be happening. So since it's not happening, easy peasy, we didn't even have to take this apart. All we had to do is bleed the pressure, okay? And being that we're about to get it inspected, I think today or tomorrow, I don't want to open this up, possibly damage things, not have the parts to do it. Otherwise, I'd take it apart. I do have the video where I have done that, a full rebuild. You can go on my channel and watch it. All you guys should have the link. If not, I'll send you the link, and that way, all these videos, I upload them every week. So newer guys, while you're in class or whatever, I mean, you have the ability to learn from them. Oh, we're dripping again. A little bit. Hold on. You have the ability to learn from a master plumber. So why not take that? You know what I mean? There's good information and it's pertinent to what we do every day, because I'm not going to teach you about how I run my 3D printer. I'm going to teach you about what we do and how we make money. So I would go and watch those videos. And there might be a thing where it's a weekend, I'm off, you can't get up with me, the weekend manager's super busy, and there's a video explaining exactly what you're trying to do. There you go. You know what I mean? And it's going to be the way I want you to do it because I'm teaching it. All right. So it's not dripping consistently. I did see a drip or two, but I think that's just because of all the turbulence we were causing, because it's not consistent. If it does fail at that point, I'll do a rebuild thing. And even if you guys aren't here, because I'm not going to pay him to do it, I'm just going to do it myself. Um, and it would just be the vent. Okay. But once again, I have a video already explaining how to do a full rebuild from A to B. It's on a 2-inch, but literally it's the same thing. It's just a different style. So now I'm gonna go ahead and purge this one as well, but I'm not gonna do the video for it because it's literally the same thing.